What if I told you that a single penny from 1917, 1927, or 1940 could be worth thousands of pounds, or more? Face screaming in fear, these ultra-rare UK 1 pennies are not just coins, they're hidden treasures waiting to be discovered. Stick around to the end to see how these pieces of history could make you rich. The 1927 1 penny, a hidden gem with astonishing value. Coins from the early 20th century hold a unique place in the world of numismatics, but the 1927 1 penny coin stands out as one of the rarest and most sought-after pennies in British history. This isn't just a piece of history, it's a potential fortune waiting to be discovered. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone curious about the world of rare coins, you're about to learn why this particular penny could change your life. The history of the 1927 1 penny coin. The 1927 1 penny coin was part of a long-running series of British pennies minted in the reign of King George V. The design on the reverse of the coin, featuring a seated Britannia holding a trident and shield, had been in circulation for decades. However, 1927 stands out because of the low mintage and some of the unusual circumstances surrounding its production. Why is the 1927 1 penny so valuable? When it comes to rare coins, rarity is key, and the 1927 penny is rare for several reasons. First, fewer coins were minted that year compared to other years of King George V's reign, making it more difficult to find today. Second, the state of the coin is crucial. A well-preserved 1927 penny can fetch a high price, especially if it's in excellent condition. The value of the 1927 penny can vary, but even in good condition, a typical example might be worth anywhere from £20 to £100 at auction. However, if you're lucky enough to find one in exceptional quality, the value skyrockets. A 1927 penny in mint condition could sell for upwards of £500, and some rarer variations of the coin, such as those with slight minting errors or unusual characteristics, have fetched thousands of pounds. For example, a coin with a rare error or a misstruck design could be worth significantly more. In 2023, a 1927 penny in pristine, uncirculated condition was sold for over £2,000 at auction. If you find one in even better condition or with a rare feature, it could be worth up to £10,000 or more, a life-changing sum for just a single penny. Money with wings. A modern-day treasure hunt. You might be wondering, how can I tell if I have one of these valuable pennies? The key is in the condition and any unique features of the coin. If you find a 1927 penny that looks nearly new or shows little to no wear, don't dismiss it as just another coin. Take the time to inspect it carefully. Look for the crispness of the design, and check for any minting errors like doubled lettering, unusual strikes, or misalignments. These minor flaws can make a massive difference in value. Another important thing to note is the market demand for 1927 pennies. As more collectors search for these elusive coins, their value continues to rise. With so many rare and high-quality examples of the 1927 penny being sold for mind-blowing prices, it's clear that this is a coin with serious potential for big returns. The 1941 penny, a hidden treasure from wartime Britain. The 1941 penny is more than just a piece of history, it's a coveted collector's dream that could be worth far more than you ever imagined. This small but mighty coin holds a significant place in the history of Britain, minted during the thick of World War II, a time when the country was fighting on multiple fronts. But what makes this 1940 penny stand out in the world of numismatics? Let's dive into the exciting history and mind-blowing value of this rare coin. The history behind the 1941 penny coin. The 1941 penny is part of the iconic series of coins featuring the portrait of King George VI, who reigned from 1936 to 1952. The reverse side of the coin displays the familiar image of Britannia, symbolizing the strength and resilience of the British people during the war. But what really makes the 1940 penny special is the context in which it was minted. World War II was raging, and the Royal Mint faced significant challenges in producing coins due to shortages of metal resources. This resulted in a limited production of coins, especially for the year 1940. While millions of pennies were typically produced in other years, the war effort meant fewer pennies were available for everyday circulation. Why is the 1941 penny so valuable? Several factors determine the value of any coin, and the 1941 penny is no exception. These include rarity, demand, and the condition of the coin. Rarity. The 1941 penny is not the most common penny from King George VI's reign. Due to limited mintage, it's harder to find in circulation today. Add to this the historical significance of the war period, and you've got a coin that is highly sought after by collectors. Condition. As with most coins, the value of a 1940 penny increases dramatically depending on its condition. If the coin is in good condition, with little wear and a clear design, it could fetch around £10 to £20 at auction. However, if you come across a coin in fine or uncirculated condition, the price could skyrocket to £100 or more. And that's just the beginning. Perfectly preserved examples of the 1940 penny can command prices as high as £500 or even £1,000 at auction. Special features or errors. If you've got a 1940 penny that was struck with a rare minting error or an unusual variation, you could be looking at an even higher value. Coins with doubled letters, misstruck designs, or other anomalies are particularly prized in the numismatic world and can go for thousands of pounds. How much could you make from a rare 1940 penny? The excitement around the 1940 penny comes not just from its historical significance but also from the enormous potential it has for collectors. Some rare, mint-condition 1940 pennies have been known to fetch as much as £2,000 at auctions, especially when there are special factors like minting errors or high collector demand. It's not out of the question to see one of these rare pennies soar in value to several £1,000s. A pristine, uncirculated example could bring in £3,000 to £5,000, and if it has a special rarity factor, you could be looking at a life-changing amount. Imagine finding a coin from 1940 that could potentially be worth more than your car, or even your house. Conclusion. The 1941 penny is more than just a relic from a turbulent time in history. It's a rare treasure that could hold significant financial value today. If you're lucky enough to find a 1940 penny in excellent condition, or better yet, one with a minting error or rare feature, you could be in for an incredible windfall. Coins like these can sell for hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands of pounds, making it one of the most exciting finds for collectors and coin enthusiasts. The 1917 one penny, a hidden gem of British currency. The 1917 one penny coin is a treasure that excites both collectors and numismatists alike, not just for its age but for the rarity that it possesses. Today, we're diving deep into what makes this coin so special and how it could fetch a significant value if you happen to find one tucked away in your coin collection or even in your pocket change. Let's uncover the history, rarity, and why this little copper coin is worth its weight in gold. A brief history. The 1917 one penny is part of the series of British pennies first introduced in 1860. These coins were struck in bronze from 1860 to 1992, which makes any coin from this era valuable to collectors. But what makes the 1917 edition particularly special? Well, it's all about the production numbers and the state of the coin. Why is the 1917 penny so valuable? The value of any coin is determined by several factors: its rarity, condition, demand, and historical significance. For the 1917 penny, these elements come together to create a coin with huge potential value. The rarity of this coin is undeniable, with fewer examples surviving in circulation due to the war and the relatively low mintage numbers. Coins from the First World War era, especially those with a history linked to wartime Britain, are particularly sought after. But it doesn't stop there. The condition of the coin plays a huge role in its value. Coins that have been well preserved, those that are free from scratches, corrosion, or heavy wear, are in high demand. A 1917 penny in mint condition could fetch a price of anywhere from £200 to £500 at auction, while examples in perfect uncirculated condition can reach astonishing sums. Some collectors have reported purchasing rare 1917 pennies for as much as £1,000, and if you happen to have one in exceptional quality, the value could go well beyond that. For a 1917 penny with certain unique features or error types, such as a misstruck coin or a coin with a rare mint mark, you could be looking at a coin worth thousands of pounds. Yes, thousands. And that's the kind of excitement that keeps coin collectors on the edge of their seats. What's even more thrilling is the possibility that your everyday pocket change could hold something as valuable as this. The 1917 one penny, a modern treasure hunt. You don't need to be a numismatic expert to spot a rare 1917 penny. If you happen to come across one in your collection or even find one in a coin jar, take a moment to check its condition and look for any signs of rarity, such as an unusual strike or minting anomaly. Don't dismiss it too quickly because, as we've seen, a well-preserved 1917 penny could set you back hundreds or even thousands of pounds. If you're still skeptical, check out recent auction results. It's not unheard of for rare pennies like the 1917 edition to make headlines, with some of the finest examples fetching life-changing prices. In fact, it's the thrill of the hunt that has many collectors scouring through coins, hoping to stumble upon one of these exceptional pieces of history.